This is Ben Davidson. Subscribe to Steve Nine.
Okay, so earlier on this morning I made a video saying that I hoped Deontay Wilder would come out at the end of the fight and say, yeah, you know what, I've just been playing mind games for the last 18 months. I don't believe Tyson Fury cheated, yada, 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 as in be the bigger man. Now, following this third fight, which was an absolute war, post-fight review is already up, go check it out. Apparently, at the end of the fight, according to Tyson Fury, after he brutally knocks out Deontay Wilder in round number 11, he went over to Deontay Wilder to say congratulations on a good fight, went to shake his hand. Wilder said something along the lines of, I'm not interested, I'm not going to show you any kind of respect or blah, 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 blah. This shows the character of Deontay Wilder. And listen, Wilder has a lot of good fans, okay? But he has some real super fans, the fanatical ones who back him no matter what. Let's be real. Wilder doing that is complete babyish. Complete lack of respect. And which is weird, right? Because all the way through this fight, he was showing the heart of a warrior. He really was. He got bounced up and down off the canvas a couple of times himself. He dropped Fury a couple of times too. It was a very, very good fight. Wilder has a lot to be proud of in this fight. But to act that way at the end of the fight is ridiculous. There's no need for it. Absolutely no need for it. Poor sportsmanship. Now, what this probably means now is Deontay Wilder will retire. That's him now. Unless, of course, he's going to come out with a whole bunch of excuses and his degenerate fan base, as in the fanatical uploaders out there, will probably make all kinds of excuses now that Tyson Fury somehow cheated again and whatever else. Listen, you can't break down that fight and say Tyson Fury is cheating. You just can't. Okay, Wilder gave it his best and come up short. Fury, as we said, and as I've said many, many times now, Fury's already shown that he is the better man in that boxing ring. And let's be honest, he's a better man outside the boxing ring too. Because Fury beat him in the first fight, got screwed to a draw, comprehensively battered him in the rematch. And this one went through absolute war and then just brutally knocked him out. Wilder's going to be upset. Wilder's going to be hurt. Of course he is. He wanted redemption. Of course he did. But show some respect, show some sportsmanship, because at the end of the day, yes, it's competition. Yes, you really want to win. Yes, it's humiliating. All this 18 months, 20 months worth of build-up for you to just get knocked smooth out. But listen, Wilder's always been a limited boxer. We know that. But he's also always been a limited character. The amount of fights that he should have had and didn't, and yet he always seems to have an excuse for it. And of course, he's had the backing of a fanatical fan base to back up everything that he says and does. Give him a pass. You shouldn't give him a pass on this one. You can't give him a pass on this one. That is poor sportsmanship. At the end of the day, look at other people who's lost. Look at Anthony Joshua when he lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. He said, no excuses, give Andy Ruiz Jr. the respect. When he lost to Alexander Usyk, no excuses, we go back to the drawing board, we'll see what happens in the rematch. Give Usyk respect. When Dillian White, in the first fight with Alexander Povetkin, sure, he was dominating that fight. He was winning that fight handedly. Maybe seconds away from knocking out Povetkin himself. Got caught with a huge punch. No excuses. He said, congratulations to him. No excuses. You caught me. Well done. I'll get you back in the rematch. That's what warriors do. What you don't do is sit there on your stool and refuse to shake hands. Because that tells me that he is still validating everything that he's been saying. And I was kind of hoping that he was just using it as some psychological warfare, because it's embarrassing that a grown man, a professional boxer, a former world champion would stoop to those kind of levels. But quite clearly, he's saying, yeah, I believe everything that happened in that rematch in the first fight, and with all the excuses of Glovegate and the egg weights, and my trainer was disloyal for throwing in the towel. My trainer spiked my water. The referee was in on the screw and he was drunk. The Nevada State Athletic Commission was in on it. And the costume was too heavy. And by the way, his costume tonight was pretty cool, right? But to not show any kind of respect is just scumbag, is what it is. And you guys support this man. You've been supporting this guy. Do you still support him? Because you shouldn't. I'll tell you right now, if that was Dillian White, you all know that I'm pals with Dillian White. If he had done that, I'd be like, come on, man. Show a little bit of respect. Now, don't get me wrong, of course, some fighters, they will walk out and they will refuse to touch gloves and whatever else. But ultimately, okay, maybe we're going to have to wait and see. Maybe we're going to have to wait and see. Maybe Wilder later on or tomorrow will release a video apologising for it. If he does, great. Okay, we can forgive that. As long as he follows up with, yeah, all the excuses, you know what, they weren't true. They weren't true. Which is a real shame because I thought that Wilder done very well in this fight. But for him to show that complete lack of respect, you've shared the ring 3 times with this man. 3 times. And what, you can't give him some respect? Unbelievable. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.
This is the biggest platform in boxing, and I'm meant to be world champion. I'll go all the way.